And welcome back to All Indiana Politics. One of the state's newest cabinet members on the job right now, Governor Eric Holcomb, naming Kerrah Herring as the state's first ever Chief Equity, Inclusion, and Opportunity Officer. The goal? Help eliminate systematic bias throughout Indiana. For the first time, we're getting to talk to Herring. She's with our Kerrah Winfrey.
All right, we are welcoming Kerrah Herring to our show. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me. Honored to be with you.
All right, so this is a new role that you're jumping into, the first in the state. What does it mean to you to be a part of this?
Well, I'm incredibly honored. I'm from South Bend, Indiana, so I am a Hoosier at my core, went to Purdue University, went to Valparaiso University School of Law, and it is just an incredible honor to serve my state in this new capacity. Extremely excited to see what comes of it. This is obviously a very first step in many things to come, but it's an important first step, and I'm really looking forward to leading this charge.
And so we came about to this role with everything we saw over the summer. How did that inspire you, or how did watching all that unfold tell you, maybe I should be a part of this?
It's so interesting. When I was watching Governor Holcomb's equity address back in August, and he talked about what happened with George Floyd in Minnesota, and he shared about some of the challenges that we face as a state, I was listening and I was very pregnant and quite comfortable in my former position, but it really tugged at my heartstrings when he started to talk about the importance of looking at the root causes of disparities within our state, not just reacting to the symptoms. And as someone who has really devoted much of my professional career to looking at equity and inclusion and opportunity, that really spoke to me. One of the other things that he said was, it's really great for us to use our constitutional right to protest, but it's important that we do that in a peaceful way to really bring attention to issues. And he said, let's not throw a brick, let's use a brick to build a better foundation for our future for Hoosiers. And that really resonated with me as someone who is from this state. And once I saw that address from Governor Holcomb, I thought, you know what? I will definitely put my name in the hat to see if I can be a part of the team to really address these inequities within Indiana.
And I'd like to go back to when you were first named to this position. One of the things you said, you called it an incredible opportunity to drive cultural change. The question is Indiana ready for that kind of change?
Well, I'm very hopeful that Indiana is ready. I am not under any type of disillusionment that this will be a walk in the park. There will be uncomfortable conversations, there will be challenging conversations, and there will be disagreements around the topics that we encounter. But I'm a firm believer that, where there is disagreement, there is a choice on whether or not to be disrespectful. And I think if people can understand that we'll have differences of opinion on a lot of these topics, but come together in a way that is open and empathetic to the other side of the conversation, I think we can see some great change. The numbers are out there. They don't lie. We have to really pay attention to the history of our country, the history of how certain systems have been set up and how there's been a disproportionate impact to certain people within our country. And we have to acknowledge that. And we have to say, what can we do as a state to move forward? And so I'm extremely hopeful that people are ready for those conversations. I am under no disillusionment that those conversations will be easy by any means. There will be some challenges, but I think we're all up for the challenge to make our state a better place and create a better quality of life for all Hoosiers.
And I know you are just, you just had your son, so you're just now getting to work. Are there any key things on your to-do list that you want to jump right in and get started on?
Yeah, well, this is week 4, and I'm quite busy. I'm really into the substance of looking at how we create the structure of the office, really talking with all of the agency leads, specifically my fellow cabinet members, and then, of course, talking with some various external partners. But right now, what I'm doing is really setting some goals for the first few months, and then for about a year out, and then some more long-term goals to make sure that the work that the CEIOO, that the work that I've been charged with doing, can be sustainable. And so we're just in the early stages of that, setting some target completion dates, identifying primary stakeholders and key collaborators. And hopefully in the next few months, I'll have more detail to share around what we're working on.
And you talk about all of the things that you are working on. When will it be apparent to you that, okay, you know, we're making some moves here, we're seeing some changes?
Well, two things I would say. First, obviously, we want to start to see the data change. We want to see the data kind of transform and shift, and that's a more long-term goal. That's going to take some time. This is definitely a marathon and not a sprint. But the second thing I think will be very telling is the willingness of individuals to sit down across lines of difference, to come together to make a difference. And when we start to see people who have varying views sit at the table together to have a conversation around equity and improvements for our state, without the tense moments, without the unfortunate situations where we're not hearing one another. When we start to see those moments become more normalized, I think that's when we'll really start to feel like we're making some headway.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kerrah, for taking some time out of your schedule to talk to us. I know you have a tough job ahead of you, and we wish you well. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kerrah. It was really nice meeting you. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.